Hello. I recently celebrated my 24th birthday on the 12th, and I wanted to do a special video. This is my story of how I got into film and why film means so much to me. So let's start from the beginning. I've always loved movies as a kid. Having grown up with the classics such as Back to the Future, Wallace and Gromit, Space Jam, and it seemed as if every day I would beg my mom to take me to Blockbuster to rent the latest movie. It was then when I was a little kid, I figured to myself that I wanted to do everything in my power to somehow work in the movie industry growing up. Though everyone at my school and even my teachers laughed at me for it, I was still determined. I remember my sister's boyfriend at the time did movie reviews on YouTube, and I thought the way he spoke about the movies he talked about and the amount of humor he added to it was really interesting, so I gave it a try, and it was the cringiest thing of all time. It's nowhere to be found on the internet, unfortunately, but I want to say I was 11 at the time. I say that because my first ever review was for The Simpsons movie, which came out in 2007, and I was born in 1996. I did more reviews since then, and all of which were cringe, and all of which are not found on the internet. As years went on reviewing movies online though, I started to get ridiculed for it from my classmates, as they found it pointless to review movies online and to go to the movies every week. And because of the bullying, I started to think I wasn't good enough for it. No one was supporting me, so I decided maybe the industry wasn't good enough for me. That didn't stop me from watching movies though. As I watched more and more movies, I kept reminding myself why I wanted to review movies in the first place. I had fun with it, and I thought, you know what, why should I care what people think? And went back to reviewing movies on YouTube again. This time with a whole new channel, and here is the earliest review I could find of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. I'll play a little bit of it to spare you from the cringe. Yeah, I deserve to get made fun of for it.
Hello guys, AJ here. Here to review Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. It stars Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson, and it basically follows Harry and the gang trying to find these items. I forget what they're called, but they have pieces of Voldemort's soul in them, and the more items he gets, the closer he is to Voldemort. And that's all. And the epic battle ensues. That's all I'm going to give away for the plot, because I love this movie, and it would be a crime to spoil it. Man, the acting across the board, phenomenal, especially for Daniel Radcliffe, who plays as Harry Potter. You know what? Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter. I can't think of any better actor to play Harry Potter. This kid has a bright future for him. And also, Rupert Grint and Emma Watson were great in it.
Yeah, that's all you're gonna get. Apparently, as a tween, I didn't know what editing was at all, and I didn't know how to back away from the microphone. Anyway, this continued despite the bullying, and a few months after that Harry Potter video, I was on a social media movie website that doesn't exist anymore called WikiPic. Think of it as letterboxd, but way more detailed than it needs to be. Anyway, WikiPic was holding a contest for who can write the best review of the movie Moneyball. I entered it thinking I wouldn't get shit, but I got shit. I won third place, apparently. All I got was an Amazon gift card for like $25, but it was worth it. I finally felt good about myself and my passion for movies. So after that, I made it my mission to continue reviewing movies no matter what anyone said. I became known as the movie guy at my school. In some sense, it was in a complimentary way, and in some sense, it was in a ridicule kind of way. I didn't care though, because I liked what I did and nothing can stop me, right? Right? Well, in early high school, I got diagnosed with a chronic depression and generalized anxiety disorder. Movies aren't something that triggered it. What does trigger it is something way more personal. But those videos that I made and those write-ups that I did started to become embarrassing for me. I wanted everything that I did and said to be perfect, but I realized being perfect was pretty much impossible. I realized what's the point and lacked any kind of motivation to move on with what I wanted to do. I was still being bullied for my love of movies. I was still being called by my YouTube name by my classmates wherever I went to make fun of me, even though I told them that I didn't like it. I was bullied for other reasons aside from that, but being bullied specifically because you love what you love makes you feel like you wasted your life. I still loved movies though. Just because I lost motivation to review them doesn't mean I can't watch them, right? And that's what I did. But I also went looking for another career that I might be interested in. I tried engineering, I didn't like it. I thought about being an electrician, not for me. I felt like I was running out of options until I took a school to career internship class in which we had to do an internship in order to pass the class. My teacher asked me what I was passionate about, and movies was the first thing that came to mind. So he got me an internship working for my town's local TV studio. I'm not going to say their name in case they don't want me to, but I ended up doing my own movie review show there. It was the most exposure I've ever got doing movie reviews at the time, and honestly, it gave me the confidence boost again. When I was in front of that camera or doing an audio review, I felt like myself again, and that's what I needed. A couple years went by and the bullying slowly stopped. There were some people who still picked on me, but who cares, they were an asshole. I was a senior now, and now I'm deciding to study film. Only problem was, my grades weren't the best. Not awful. They were just not the grades that great film schools want to see. So I worked hard to build up that resume, I tried to review everything that came out, and I ended up going to college in a small town in the middle of nowhere, New Hampshire, that had a film program. I graduate high school, I get through the summer, and I finally move into my college dorm room, and right off the bat, I met a bunch of cool people who thought it was cool that I reviewed movies. I found my friend group pretty early, so this college thing is gonna be awesome, right? Well, the very first week, I went to speak to my advisor for the first time. She asked me what were my career goals, and I said I wanted to be a filmmaker. She laughed at me and told me that I was going to be poor and homeless. I was speechless after she said that. I never thought my confidence could take a huge nosedive so quick, but it did. But what made my confidence hit completely rock bottom was that the bullying came back. Bullying in college. From someone that I dated. I've held this in for so long, but I'm sad to say that I'm a victim of relationship abuse. Because of the relationship abuse and bullying from her, my mental health was at an all-time low during college. I had no motivation to do anything. The only motivation I got was when I was hanging out with my friends, who, thank God, are still my friends today. But I felt useless to everyone. I felt that compared to everyone, I was the one who was going to end up being a loser. This caused many panic attacks, many nights where I cried myself to sleep, many nightmares, and many days where I just didn't want to do anything. I thought I was a bother to everyone. Movies were the only thing that continued to make me happy. I didn't want to let that go. And eventually I found the courage to buck up, and if I wasn't getting any motivation, then I'll just bring the motivation to me. I took more film classes and started to get myself more involved in the field. I even got to write for the Odyssey for a little bit, which was a lot of fun. I'll link a couple articles down in the description below. I started watching more movies than I could think of, and I started applying to more places for me to write reviews. Most of them said no, but I took those rejections as motivations and thought if I'm not going to be picked for the team, then I'll just throw myself in the game. And that's where the birth of this YouTube channel came into play. I felt that my writing skills and vocabulary had improved enough, and I just went for it, and it took me a while for me to start gaining subscribers, but I was determined. I marketed myself as much as I could. I made video after video to help get myself a better following, and to help improve myself. Though I'm not exactly at the top of the game, I'm happy with the amount of subscribers that I have now. Though I still think most of my videos are complete crap, I am still very determined to make as many videos as possible, and it's gotten me far. Remember how I said I applied everywhere? Well, I got an opportunity to write for a website called Incluvie, which I have nothing but positive things to say about. It's basically like Letterboxd, but for diversity in film, and the owner of Incluvie cannot be a nicer person if she tried, and I loved my team. That gave me a huge confidence boost and made me some pretty cool friends. You know that review I made on Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always? The director Eliza Hittman responded to it. I wrote an article on the movie Emma, which got picked up and advertised by the website Medium and put on the front of their main film page. All thanks to Incluvie. I wrote an article on great movies by women directors, and one of my friends shared it, and the director of Skate Kitchen, Crystal Moselle, liked it. One of my favorite movies. The director liked my article. And just recently I reviewed Yes God Yes on my movie review Instagram page and talked about how much I loved it, and the director Karen Main and the marketing team responded to the review and liked it. And while I have a lot of people to thank for helping me get this far, I really owe this to my love for movies. The reason why I love movies is because of the emotional escape from it all. Most of the time when I watch a certain movie, I feel like I'm experiencing something I haven't experienced before in my life, and I can't help but to think it's the most beautiful thing. It's the most beautiful thing how relatable most movies can be. It's the most beautiful thing how much a movie can make me laugh when I need it. It's the most beautiful thing how much a movie can make me cry when I need to let all my emotions out. And now, at 24 years old, movies are still my favorite thing. They give me a home away from home, and whenever I see a movie that I flat out adore, I just start to get that confidence boost back and say, yes, I want to make something like that. And I'm working hard. I truly am, and I believe I can make something of myself because I love what I do no matter what anyone says. I'm not a perfect person. I have flaws, and there are times where I absolutely hate myself, but I don't want to be a perfect person. I like who I am though, and what I do, and I didn't do it myself. Thank you to my family for that support to continue doing what I do. Thank you to my friends for that push to continue doing what I do. And thank you everyone for giving me a reason to do what I do.